Welcome to the weightlifting platform, where the elite meet to talk about meets. The weightlifting platform is brought to you by the Panamerican Weightlifting Federation. I'm your host, Richard Mason. On this week's show, we'll talk to a new competitor in the weightlifting world about her quest for Birmingham and the Commonwealth Games. For our tip of the week, a Polish athlete will talk to us about what she's learned on her way to a top 5 finish at Junior Worlds this year. And for our regular feature, Good to Know, though new weight categories for Paris will cause a domino effect for athletes and coaches alike. But first, here are the headlines. The International Weightlifting Federation is once again closer to replacing current leadership. A special Congress has set the stage for elections in late June. The virtual Congress selected members for the Ethics and Disciplinary Committee, including one person from the region of all 5 continental associations. It will be chaired by Gabriel Nigon of Switzerland. The Congress also chose 5 people to serve on an independent investigative chamber to hold the election, and the candidates that are allowed to run to the highest standards. Candidates for the presidency, executive board, various committees will all be asked to submit their names in early March, with a final vetted candidates list by the end of April. Elections will be held June 25th and June 26th. Those are today's headlines. And now, good to know. Weightlifting is facing a weight class dilemma. The sport is contested in 10 weight classes for men and 10 weight classes for women at world championships and all the other events. Well, at the Olympics in Rio, that was only 15 weight categories total. Tokyo was cut down to 14. Paris now will be even fewer. The International Olympic Committee has approved 5 categories for men, 5 for women. What those categories are has yet to be determined, but you can bet that the choice will be the subject of much debate and will mean plenty of strategic moves by athletes and coaches alike in the lead up to 2024 once they know. Is good to know. Now, Holly O'Shea is a strong woman, but a newcomer to the world of international weightlifting. She competed at her first international event that shows up on the IWF database late in 2021 in Tashkent, representing Gibraltar in the women's 77 kilo category. Let's meet Holly. Holly, welcome to the weightlifting platform.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Now, let's tell your story. Let's start from the very beginning. Now, I know that there's a little bit of different barbells in your life, but tell me when you first found yourself with a barbell in your hands and thinking about building strength.
I came across weightlifting early on because, with the growth of CrossFit, it just was a lot bigger and I kind of seen it and I really wanted to try it out, but I was a little bit scared, to be perfectly honest with you, of the weight room and getting into it. I just felt a little bit intimidated. I'm not too sure why. So it took me a while to get into the gym, but through doing other sports, I kind of realized that the thing I enjoyed the most was that strength and conditioning element in the gym. That was where I was best. And so I looked to do some sort of strength sport and I really wanted to try weightlifting or powerlifting at the time. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just knew that I enjoyed lifting weights and that sort of thing. So at the time I couldn't really find a coach or someone around me to do weightlifting. So I ended up doing powerlifting for a little bit as well. So I spent a little bit of time doing that and just kind of getting to grips with the gym and that sort of thing. And then I kind of realized that weightlifting is, it's exciting. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of different kind of movements and different things to consider when you're training. So I kind of turned over and decided to give it a go whilst at university in the UK. And I was lucky enough to be surrounded by some really great lifters to just kind of inspire me there as well. So yeah, I had a lot to look up to and a lot of guidance, which has been amazing.
Now, what other sports? You said that you came from other sports. We've talked a little about powerlifting. What other sports? What was sports were you? Were you a netball player? What did you do?
I think I've done a bit of kind of unconventional sports, I guess. So I did a bit of triathlon when I was growing up. So I did a few endurance events, and I guess whilst I enjoyed them, I didn't wake up excited to go for a run, to be perfectly honest with you. So I think it's now I've realized that I've actually found something that I love. I wake up and I'm excited to go to training. I look forward to it. Like it's the best part of my day. And yeah, I love it so much.
Now, you're from Gibraltar, but you learned to lift in the UK when you're at university. Where do you live
Mhm.
now? Are you in the UK, or are you? Well, I guess are you in Gibraltar, or are you in England? Where are you living?
So I'm living in England still, just kind of working after university, but my parents are back in Gibraltar, so I try and get back as much as I can. It's, it's such a beautiful place. The sun is amazing, and it's yeah, it's a really special place. And yeah, I think it's been a little bit more difficult with COVID, unfortunately, in getting back. So I'm hoping to get back maybe in the next month or so.
Is there a plan for continuing to live in England, where you've got training, where you've got bumper plates, where you've got a coaching situation already set up? Is there a setup in Gibraltar that you could jump back into if you decided to go home?
Yeah, yeah, there is. There's well, not really specifically a weightlifting setup to be perfectly honest with you, but there are a couple of gyms where you can weightlift, and I really think that weightlifting has a big potential in the country. It's quite a small place, but you've got a few different options where you can weightlift. So that's I think that's really exciting, and I already know quite a few people that are taking weightlifting up, and we have a little kind of community of us, and they were really supportive when I went out to Uzbekistan, and I think that's been the best part, just the reaction from the country and how proud everyone is. I think hopefully giving people someone to look up to that I maybe didn't have when I was starting. That's yeah, I mean, seeing people around me in university has just been amazing and giving me something to look towards and something to work towards. And I want to be that for someone else. And yeah, I think I would love to eventually be able to go back and maybe like open a gym and give people that guidance. But yeah, I guess it depends on work and that sort of stuff. But that would be yeah, that would be amazing. The dream.
Now, baby steps here. Now, tell me, what's your? You did compete in Tashkent. The meet was Senior Worlds, kind of going here, and it was also the Commonwealth Championships going here. You were entered in the Commonwealth Championships, but that had to be an unusual experience for you because this is your first meet that I can find on the IWF database. And for your first meet to be walking around with all the best athletes in the world, in the training hall, in the hotel, does that intimidate you or does it just motivate you? What's your reaction when you show up at a meet with all the gods of the sport, as it were?
Yeah, I think I was scared to go, definitely, and it wasn't maybe the first competition I anticipated going to internationally, but it was just the most incredible experience. And the main thing that I took away was just how welcoming everyone was. Everyone was so kind and just amazing to be around, and I was taken in and met so many different countries and just so many different amazing people. So I was definitely scared, but I think how welcoming everyone was, from the officials to all of the athletes as well. People were always kind of coming up to me and talking to me about the country and about my experiences and just being really welcoming. So I think at first I was sat on the plane a little bit scared, but when I got there and when I kind of got into everything, it was a really great experience and such an amazing competition and so well ran. I really enjoyed it.
Are you happy with the result? You placed seventh in your first international meet. Are you happy with that?
I think, yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I was quite nervous. So I think I didn't maybe put up as much of a total as I'd like to. The aim was just to go, experience a platform like that. And just yeah, get my first international under my belt and just give me something, just a little bit of context of what an international's like and what that feels like. So yeah, I then recently had a competition again at the British Championships and put up a little bit of a bigger total, and kind of yeah, felt a little bit more comfortable there after competing in Uzbekistan. So yeah, I was happy with it considering, it was my first international, but it really just made me want a lot more. And seeing people, the strongest people in the world surrounding me, it was just, yeah, it gives you a high bar to look up towards, I think.
Now, depending on what Emily Godley does, because she's ranked in the Commonwealth rankings in a couple of different weight classes, you're in the top sixth in your class right now, based on what I checked just a few minutes ago. Does that get you to Birmingham, or is the road to Birmingham paved with gold for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I think there's a couple more competitions to go in the qualification period, and I think I need to be top 12, I think, in the Commonwealth to go. And for my first kind of experience of this, and I've not been lifting for that long, I just wanted to go and experience, an international and give it my all. And if I get to go, then I get to go, and I'll be really, excited about that. But also, if I don't, then I've had a really great experience over this qualification period. So either way, I'm just really excited and happy to have been involved. So yeah, I would love to be able to represent Gibraltar on the Commonwealth stage. I think it would be amazing. And I'm, yeah, going out to Uzbekistan, I feel like I've got that international experience now. So hopefully, I mean, fingers crossed, I've done everything that I can. So yeah, just really hoping that I'm able to go.
Well, best of luck. What's after Birmingham for you? You said you're working now. You might at some point there might be a gym in Gibraltar called Holly's Place, or I don't know what you call a gym. I don't own a gym, so I don't know what you name it. But what's next after Birmingham or beyond?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I want to be able, I want to be getting stronger and getting more experience of competitions. And yeah, I hope for the next Commonwealth cycle to be in quite a strong position to be able to put up a really good result for Gibraltar, and, hopefully be one of the best placed athletes from the country. That would be kind of the dream for the Commonwealth cycle. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking about now. I guess everything's been so fixated on Birmingham, so I haven't really thought too far ahead yet. But that would be the dream, eventually being able to really put Gibraltar on the map in weightlifting in the Commonwealth Games.
Fantastic, Holly. We appreciate you taking the time. You don't get to hang up on us yet, though. We're going to put you on the clock next.
Cool.
Okay. I don't know if you know how we do this. We're going to put you on a 1 minute clock. Weightlifters are always under the pressure of a 1 minute clock. We're going to ask you questions, some of it weightlifting, some of it to know you better, more so than just talking about what happens with you weightlifting platform. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The clock starts at 60 in 3, 2, 1. What's the best thing about being from Gibraltar?
I think the view from the top of the rock, it's just the most amazing thing.
Now, name me a weightlifter that you admire.
I think the weightlifters I've been surrounded by at uni, so the ones from Great Britain, so Zoe Smith, Sarah Davies, Emily Campbell, Emily Godley, they're all great females that I look up to.
Fantastic. What's your favorite food?
Probably pizza.
Not a bad choice. If you were at the Winter Olympics, which are going on right now, what sport would you be participating in?
I like the idea of bobsleigh. I don't know if I'd be good at it, but I like the idea.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
And I saw the suit that you wore in the picture in the Gibraltar Times. Plus or minus 5, how many colors were there in that weightlifting suit?
I think there were three.
I think there's about 300. It was all crazy colors. I don't know if you've seen the one in the paper. It wasn't the one you lifted in, but it was the one you warmed
Oh,
up in or
sorry.
had.
Yeah, I know what you mean now.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it was about 30 colors there. Holly, thanks very much for taking the time to talk to us. We appreciate it. Best of luck in Birmingham and beyond.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Now it's time for our tip of the week. this week's tip of the week, we get to meet Agnieszka Zimrov of Poland. She's posted some impressive results in Europe and as well as at the Junior Worlds in 2021 in Uzbekistan. She helps out with the many different factors that helped her succeed on our tip of the week.
Cześć. Mam na imię Agnieszka Zimroz i pochodzę z Polski. Jestem medalistką Mistrzostw Europy do lat 20 oraz czwartą zawodniczką Mistrzostw Świata do lat 20, które odbyły się w Uzbekistanie w 2021 roku. Myślę, że kluczem do osiągnięcia lepszych wyników w podnoszeniu ciężarów jest regularność i konsekwencja w działaniu. Jednocześnie szalenie istotne jest regeneracja i fizjoterapia. Dlatego czasem warto odpuścić jednostkę treningową na rzecz odpoczynku. Dbajcie o właściwą ilość snu i pamiętajcie także o tym, aby dbać o swoje zdrowie psychiczne. Stawiajcie sobie wysokie cele. Osiągajcie to, co wczoraj wydawało wam się niemożliwe. Nie słuchajcie tych osób, które was demotywują i zniechęcają do ciężkiej pracy. Większość ograniczeń siedzi w naszych głowach. Pozdrawiam z Polski, trzymajcie się ciepło, życzę wszystkim widzom rekordów życiowych i zdobywania największych osiągnięć.
Thanks for joining us for this week's edition of the Weightlifting Platform, brought to you by the Panamerican Weightlifting Federation. Like what you see, bookmark us on YouTube. You could also like the IWF on Facebook, Instagram, and or Twitter at IWFNET. I'm Richard Mason. Good lifting.